Hotel Uniform Bravo, serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets each Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time on RAYNET-UK talk group 5023531 and Pheonix and Brandmeister talk group 23531. And it's open to all amateur radio operators interested in emergency communications. The primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic, news, opinions and information. Additional information and announcements are available on the RAYNET-UK website, which can be found at www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls are to be made to the net control station, unless you are instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, and if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. Otherwise, if you wish to leave after subsequent terms, then please make it clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard a few check-ins, I will repeat who I've heard. If you're not acknowledged, please do try again, and I will be calling at the end for any strays, that is, people who have missed their turn. As I now begin taking check-ins to the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net, as usual, in call sign number order, so looking for stations with figure 8 in their call sign, please call now. This is G4 and RC, over.
Golf 8 Echo Yankee, name is Mike. Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform, name is Bob.
G4 and RC has got Mike, Golf 8 Echo Yankee, no problems with you, Mike. And afternoon, Bob, Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform, good call in, just 14% packet loss at the very end. Network didn't quite let go properly. Any other 8s, please? G4 and RC. For an RC, no more 8s heard, so we'll go for 7. Stations figure 7 in their call sign, please go ahead now. G4 and RC, over.
G70JA, Golf 7 Oscar Juliet Alpha Paul. Just in and out this afternoon, Greg. Loving the moustache on the video feed. Back to you.
Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, G7 Graham. Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Good afternoon, Greg. I can reflect. This is G4 and RC. That's all the 7s I can put up with for now. Very good afternoon, Paul. G7OJA. Well, this I'm not meant to make like I know the camera's there, so I didn't. G7NEH, thanks for doing video streaming. I hate to see how big you've got my video on YouTube today. And M7AVO, I'll be suitably warned for anything I say later. Any other 7s, please? G4 and RC, over.
Mike 7, Charlie Bravo X-Ray Mobile, no traffic, in and out.
I've got Chris, Mike 7, Charlie Bravo X-Ray Mobile. Good afternoon to you, and copied in and out. I guess you've just been listening. Okay, we'll move out the 7s into the 6s. Stations figure 6 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 and RC, over.
Golf 6 November Lima X-Ray, George, North Norfolk. Yankee India, Alan, Panic Raynet, in and out, please, Greg.
G4 NRC, I've got George, Golf 6 November Lima X-Ray, good afternoon to you, and Alan, Mike 6 November Yankee India, copied your in and out today, Alan, thanks. Any other sixes, please, G4 NRC, over. G4 NRC, nothing heard, so we'll go in search of our elusive 5s, any 5 figure call sign, station figure 5 in their call sign, sorry. Please go ahead, G4 NRC, over. That wasn't a 5, so we'll go for stations figure 4. Figure 4 in that call sign, please go ahead. G4 NRC, over.
G4 NRC. G4 KUJ. G4 Kilo Uniform Juliet. Trevor movement.
G4 NRC returning. Thank you, Trevor. G4 KUJ, and so far we haven't trampled over each other in the log yet. That's a good thing. Any other 4s, please? G4 NRC, over. RC, nothing heard, so we'll go for 3. Stations figure 3. Figure 3 in their call sign, go ahead. G4 NRC, over.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Ian.
G4 NRC's got Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, good afternoon, Ian. Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, Chris, could you go again? I've just got a blip of a call sign, but no audio, so just let me know whether you're staying or in and out. G4 NRC to G3 VEH, over. G3 VEH, still me, G4 NRC, over. G4 NRC, nothing heard. I'm going to assume Chris is staying on the list. We'll just call him in due course. Okay, any other 3s, please? G4 NRC, over. No more 3s heard or seen, so we'll go for stations figure 2. Figure 2 in their call sign. Aimed especially at intermediate 2s. Please go ahead. G4 NRC, over. No blue sky, any stations figure 2. Figure 2 in their call sign. Go ahead, please. G4 NRC, over. NRC, we'll go for the 1. Stations figure 1. Figure 1 in their call sign. Please go ahead. G4 NRC, over. G4 NRC, second call. Any stations figure 1. Figure 1 in their call sign. Please go ahead. G4 NRC, over. G4 NRC, nothing heard, so we'll go into the 0s, starting with the Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier. Please call now, G4 NRC, over.
Mike 0 November Echo Delta, Peter.
Mike 0 Golf Uniform Yankee.
Mike 0 Whiskey X-Ray Golf, Birmingham, Cornwall, in and out. Thank you, Greg.
Mike 0 India Tango Mike, Andy, Prince Shirley, also in Cornwall, in and out. Thanks.
Mike 0 Juliet Victor Zulu, I will be in and out.
E4 and RC, I think that's usually the first tranche of M0s. Mike 0 November Echo Delta, good afternoon Pete. Mike 0 Golf Uniform Yankee, good afternoon Guy. And then Mike 0 Whiskey X-Ray Golf Shirley, Mike 0 India Tango Mike Andy, and Mike 0 Victor, Juliet Victor Zulu Les. Good afternoon to you three and all acknowledged in and out. Any other Mike 0s of any regional secondary identifier, please? G4 and RC, over. And RC, nothing heard, so we'll go for Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please. G4 and RC, over.
Golf Whiskey 0 Juliet Lima X-Ray Portable, Andy, in and out. Thanks, Greg, and a very good afternoon to you.
G4 and RC, good afternoon Andy, Golf Whiskey 0 Juliet Lima X-Ray Portable. Thanks for your perseverance on the HF earlier on today. More on the mailing list later for what seems to be a very asymmetrical report. Any other Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please? G4 and RC. For NRC, nothing heard. Any strays? Any UK stations who've missed their turn who want to call in, please do so now. That's any UK stations who've missed their turn, please call in now. G4 and RC, over.
M0, hello M, Paul in Essex.
C, good afternoon, Paul. Mike 0 Lima Oscar Mike. And any other strays, any other UK stations waiting to call in to the RAYNET-UK activity period? G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard or seen, so let's go international. Have we got any international liaison stations? Normally Nordson Band of Norway or Arran in Ireland. Any other international stations from the emergency comms community want to call in, please do so now. This is G4 and RC, over.
Liam Alpha 6 India Mike. Name is Hans, in and out. Great.
G4 and RC, good afternoon, Hans Lima and Alpha 6 India Mike. Good to hear you. Always know you're there because you usually test a little bit beforehand. Okay, that completes check-ins. As alluded to a little earlier, the net continues to be live streamed by Graham, Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, onto YouTube as an experiment today. Sadly, the live video of your net controller is also included in this, and it didn't seem to harm the viewer numbers that much. The live stream and recording is still available by searching Golf 7 November Echo Hotel G7NEH on YouTube.com. If you've got any comments, please leave them for Graham in the comments section of the YouTube chat. The only group known active today was out in East Suffolk, who were supporting their local 999 emergency services day today. No other groups were shown as active in the diary, which provokes a question of does everybody make sure that their local diary entries are kept up to date so we can spot any event clashes that might be coming through. And to go slightly off planet, but still emergency related, for those who use the frequency designated to the RSGB band plan for community comms of 145.2 MHz, note that the International Space Station now has the capability to work APRS and the voice repeater, and therefore presumably real voice, which is where 145.2 comes into play, at the same time. Previously, they could only operate one mode at a time from the ISS, so if they're in APRS mode, we'd know we'd have a fairly clear run at the frequency for the 6 times a day they are overhead for a few minutes at a time. I reckon it'll stay in voice repeater mode for most of the time now they have this capability, which is 145.99 up and 437.8 MHz down, with 67 Hz CTCSS required to wake up the space station as a crossband repeater. But while it stays in voice repeater mode, it might give us the opportunity of another low Earth orbit bird to play with for those who want to get into playing with satellites. And since our colleagues out in the Pacific do use the low Earth orbit satellites for emergencies themselves, it's another adjunct to QO100, which is there all the time. Didn't watch my own dropouts, so we're good. G-A-T-Y, go ahead, G for an RC, over.
G4NRC from G8EY. Yeah, it all went a bit strange there from Doug, Greg. Yeah, all a bit squawky, but got there in the end. Okay, from this end here in sunny Norfolk, we've got 23 degrees C, 14 C by night, 1015, 1015 millibars, 68% cloud cover, and we've got some forecast storms, lightning, etc. overnight on Wednesday night. Winds 9 miles per hour from 270 degrees, absolutely due west. Yeah, the stream is good. I've left a comment for Graham. And as for keeping the diary updated, it does help, I suppose. I actually prompted the person running Exercise Maximum Vanguard to find out that it's morphed from the 6th of September, and now sometime in November or December, maybe. So, there we go. From G8, good afternoon all.
Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee G for NRC. Yes, I think that's one of those diary entries for life, not just for the 5 minutes you put it in. If something does move, then log it. It has caused us some issues with COVID. We did ask with the right intent for people to show what events they've had that were cancelled, and the talk-through system then complains that people haven't put talk-through reports in for the events, even though it did say cancelled in them. But yeah, if people do keep the diaries up to date, it does make life a little easier if clashes are reported. Trevor will complain in due course if I didn't copy all your stuff properly into the log. Next to Bob. Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform G for an RC, over.
Gee, LSU, did you squawk at me, Greg?
Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform G for an RC. Yes, I did, Bob, inviting you in, over.
Gee, LSU, oh, I got some noise and I'm sure or not.
It's Sierra Delta Uniform, G8STU, G4NRC. Bob, I think it's as much your end this time as anything else. I got the first 7 seconds and then it crashed out again with 14% packet loss. Not sure where you're at with regard to power into the hotspot, or because you are coming in through your hotspot, or through your own Wi-Fi location of that. Let's try again and see if you are copying me. G8STU, G4NRC, over. For NRC, nothing heard from Bob. Feels like we're going to have a separate chat with him about what his configuration is. Down to you, Graham. G798, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G798, good afternoon, Greg. Welcome to all on the net. Yeah, we're on live streaming again today, as you know, with video stream as well. And last week's nest, well, I've just checked, had about 21 views, and more subscribers to the channel, which is nice. And I think we just ask everyone that's viewed the net, just hit that like button and give it a like. That's good, and YouTube likes that as well. So, not a lot else to add from this end. Back to you guys. Well, I would say it's a bit cooler this week, doing the net than it was last week. So, back to you, G4NRC, G7AH.
G798, G4NRC returning. Okay, Graham, thanks for 21 views on the YouTube stream. So, difficulty we're having, chaps and chapesses, is how we determine are these extra viewers and what above and beyond those people are actually on the net itself, given it generally gets quietly mentioned by Graham on the Facebook group for RAYNET or a couple of other locations. If we're reaching 17 people who are logged in, then getting an extra 21 views, then that means the RAYNET word is getting out there a little further, especially if there are 21 non-RAYNET members or something like that. When we get down to Guy might be able to have a quick look and see which of our 73 connected hotspots at the moment are actually carrying this conversation or this net. Since that's on a tab I don't want to switch to at the moment to get away from last heard, just to get another idea of the potential listenership. Next today, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, G4NRC, over. G4NRC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Excuse me. Good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again, Greg, for doing the net. And my apologies for last night. It's one of them days that started with a work meeting, and I don't work many Saturdays, and carried on with a family day, so we were late. So apologise for making it online in the end last night. Not a great deal to add this end. As you say, the weather has cooled down considerably in West Cheshire here, and we've had some rain showers throughout the week, so the grass is greening up, so that I think this next week will be another task, and a short week for me this week, and the week after as well. I've booked a few days off, so I have spoken to Graham, and perhaps we can get our heads together. Back to you, Greg. Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. And Alpha Victor Oscar, G4NRC returning. Yeah, I did restrain myself from saying coming Great Uncle Dave for the family but I'll do that until you were actually looking at it properly on screen. No problem about the group net. 4 meters was interesting last night for West Cheshire Group local net. Interested if anybody else has used the ICOM 7300 and any of that equivalent style of radio on 70 megahertz. Graham and I, who were on our local net last night, noted this radio seems to be a little deaf. But even though we were within 2 or 3 miles of each other with half-wave verticals up and all sorts of good power and antennas, we were only getting a strength 6 report, and that was with the preamp in. So all another bit of a learning experience. And just in case anybody knows that we've had rain in Cheshire, just beware that we don't have any decent reservoirs in Cheshire, so it might rain here, but it all goes straight out to the rivers pretty much. Okay, thanks Dave. I'll come back to you on the next one. Next to George, Golf 6, November Lima X-Ray, G4NRC, over.
G6NLX, thank you Greg. Good afternoon everybody. Nothing really much to report from my bit of North Norfolk here on the Broads. Very, very busy with holiday makers, as you might imagine. Certainly the waterways are very busy. This tends to make life a little bit interesting when manoeuvring boats, but otherwise nothing really much to report. Might be interesting next weekend, which I noticed. There's a, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's something like Inland Waterways and Boats on the Air weekend, which is for the whole of the bank holiday weekend, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how many of the visitors that come out here on the water on the Broads anyway, actually participate in that. Led to believe it's on 7 megs and on 2 meters, although contacts from any band would be allowed. Otherwise, nothing much more to report this weekend. I'm using my new toy, which is the OpenSpot 4, which I can report works very well. And route into the network is direct onto the RAYNET server via a DMR handset. So I'll put it back to you, Greg. This is G6NLX out to you.
Golf 6, November Lima X-Ray, G4NRC returning. Okay, yes, we normally focus down on the southwest and forget that your bit of the country also gets these busy waterways, even if the roads just seem to lock up like my favourite ones over there. So, no, I wasn't aware of the Inland Waterways and Boats on the Air events, but I imagine that the holiday weekend will cause a flurry of special events activity. I am playing with a couple of radios set up by Last Broke when I was on holiday in Cornwall a few years ago, which does seem to be working. So back to M7 AVO's point, I might be up for a little bit of portable operation, or at least mobile operation, and we'll give things a try. Also noted on the OpenSpot 4, I've got a more normal Pi MMDVM style hotspot here, number 3 in the fleet, which hasn't actually been put into service properly yet. So lots of toys, probably just need to hope for some sunshine and go outside and play with it. Next on the list is Trevor, G4KUJ, G4NRC, over.
Right, seem to be in this time. G4NRC, G4KUJ. Saw myself coming last time and then almost immediately drop out. Okay, good afternoon to Greg and everybody else. And in particular, welcome to Paul, M0LRM, long time since we've chatted. Right, 7,300 on 4 meters. I haven't put the signature online to check it, but all I can say is that if I listen to the Buxton Beacon on 70 megs dead from here with the log periodic horizontal beam, which is probably only got about 4 or 5 dB gain, if that, I can usually hear the Buxton Beacon all the time. So I think that suggests the receiver is, as far as I'm concerned, not an issue. And I have used it locally and seem to be able to hear stations on FM and on sideband pretty well. So but I will at some time dig out the Jenny and do some measurements for you. Other activities this week, as it cooled down a bit, as others have noticed, managed to get out and do some work on Kilo 100. That is now an operational system game. It was the Bullseye LNV, which had obviously suffered in the extreme heat in July. One thing while I was setting everything up, my converter that converts 970 odd megs down to 2 meters seems to have failed, but I need to have a look at that. But that doesn't affect reception because I always use the SDR console for reception. I think that's about it, Greg. Yeah, so the only other thing I'm going to do is the mounting for the dish at the moment. It's on a very short 40mm mast, stub mast, which is inserted into a heavyweight dry cast umbrella stand, which is held down by 4 breeze blocks, courtesy of the builders next door earlier in the year. But I've ordered a bracket today because where the dish sits, it's in a corner where there's a small wall which retains the lawn. So I'm going to put a bracket on the wall to make that a more robust fixing. So that's about it from me. G4 NRC, G4.
G4KUJ, G4NRC returning. I was doing a video of seeing me count my fingers because I was watching you get closer to the timeout of 180 seconds, and you just about made it. Better than I did anyway. Okay, good news, QO100 is available again. Factor that into the IARU exercises later on in the year, and it will be cooler and all will be better with the world anyway. And we'll be interested in the observations on the 7300 because Graham and I were getting pretty much identical reports, and another one of our group members said he tried it and it was not the best in his mind. So we're not sure whether we've got a batch issue or a something more significant. Okay, next to Ian, Golf 3, Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC and the group, good afternoon. This is G3ZHX. I don't really have a lot to say this week, I have to say. I shall be on a deployment next week, and there are other things on Sunday, so you won't hear from me for a fortnight. And stop clapping. And hope to hear from you later. G3ZHX.
Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4 and RC. Completely stop clapping. Yeah, understood, Ian. Well, enjoy the events and other deployments you have. I was thinking that maybe we should live stream me typing into the log at the same time as the net is being streamed, but given the number of typos I had on Fortnite then, it probably wouldn't be a good idea. We'll see if anybody can say anything going on the rest of the net that might spur any further comments from you before we hit finals on the next round. Let's see if we've got Chris with us this time. Golf 3, Victor Echo Hotel, G3VEH, G4 and RC, over. G3VEH, Golf 3, Victor Echo Hotel, G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC, G3VH. I made it that time. Let's play. Close 1 minute of it. I haven't got run. And then this afternoon.
3 Victor Echo Hotel G4NRC. Sorry, Chris. We got about 3 bursts of audio from you. I was looking concerned because the first burst died with a sort of 14% packet loss, which seemed awfully similar to the previous packet losses, and then the 2 subsequent ones were 30%. I was trying to see if there was any rhythm to when you were appearing on and off net as well. So, at least you recognise you got in the second time around. Something's still not quite right with that setup on your hotspot. They've been dropped off with packet loss. Trevor's typing in what his view of the packet loss was as well. Okay, we shall move down the list to see if he's still hearing us, if nothing else. Down to Pete, rather up to Pete. Mike 0, November Echo Delta, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from MC9ED. It's nice to hear you, Greg. Not a lot to report from my neck of the woods. Accessing through VP, so it should be a reasonable signal. It's 26 degrees here. My little Lancashire is covered in fairly blue sky. The barbecue's on. So that's about it from me. Back to yourself.
Echo Delta, G4NRC. I'm sending a rain cloud up from Cheshire just because you mentioned the barbecue. I don't think mine's been out for a couple of years now because of what happens to it. Good to hear we're linked out through, that's 3 repeaters that are active today then for sure, given we're coming out through Graham's GP7WX, Guy's repeater, and your own GP3PP up in Preston. So, yeah, nice that we've got the repeater reach, and everything's working fine. I'm hoping we'll get a face-to-face with a zone meeting in 2 or 3 months' time and get back to the fire station we know and love up in the northwest, because they are now reopened for allowing public meetings. 711. Okay, next to Guy, Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, M0GUI. Good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon, all. Yeah, so I was at the NRC yesterday, and we were working the ISS repeater. First pass just after 8 o'clock in the morning was fantastic. We made some contacts with it. Next pass was a little while later, and by that time, the whole of Europe had woken up, and it was a complete bum fight to use the repeater in the slightest. And then certainly all the other passes throughout the day were deteriorating in ability to be heard, as everybody just cranked up their power across Europe to try and make use of it. So yeah, early morning is great. Early morning passes seem to work. And then I just had notification this afternoon that somebody was at the NRC this morning and made contact with NA1SS. So they've made contact from NRC to the space station direct. So that was very positive for that. Secondarily, you should see the dashboard on the RAYNET server is now fully operational, and everybody is getting their pink lines when talking, and it cancels when they're not. Found the silly little bug in the code that was preventing that. It turns out that when you're looking in an array for a line and updating that line, that's fine when it finds it in the array. When it doesn't find it in the array, it doesn't update, and that's what was happening. Is that people that had fallen off the bottom as the recently heard or last heard were then not coming back in again until you refresh the page so that the browser sees them again. But fix that now, so so the dashboard should be operational. You should see some other tiny changes to buttons and things just to hopefully improve the layout and functionality in there as well. You asked about how many hotspots are currently tied to the national. All of them, by the looks of things, appear to have the national one as set. I am just making some changes to the code to actually bring that out. So when you go to connected peers, you'll be able to see if or onto a talk group, and it lists the statics. You'll see if the peers listed are actually online or offline. So hopefully, again, that'll make things a bit clearer. So that'll happen. I'll push that update in a bit once the net is over, and I've just finished testing it because I've just found a bug. But otherwise, that's about it for me. And yes, indeed, GB7GP is tied to the talk group, so it is definitely going out of this repeater. Because apart from else, I'm using it right now. And with that, I shall pass it back. This is Mike Zero Golf Uniform Yankee, passing back to G4 NRC.
Golf Uniform Yankee, G4 NRC. Yep, dashboard is much more responsive, and thanks for that, Guy. We have had a comment, as Guy knows, but this is for the benefit of the rest of the class. Somebody who's been trying to get themselves set up on the system recently was playing follow the YouTube videos, because the RAYNET-UK YouTube channel has our how-to videos on there. Of course, the unintended consequence of Guy improving things is that some of the videos go out of date a bit faster than we might have planned. So if anybody is having difficulties, then please do get in touch with us, technical@raynet-uk.net, or Guy's email address if you have it directly, and we will resolve problems as best we can. Right, final one this turn is Paul. Mike Zero, Lima Oscar Mike, round to you, Paul, G4 NRC, over.
G4 NRC, M0 LOM. Yeah, it's a rare appearance by me. Yeah, sadly I haven't come on here too much, but yes, no dabbling with OpenSpot and MD380, just trying to press old stuff into service and reactivate my interest in these things, because there's no RF access around here for me to get into these DMR side of things. So yes, it appears to be all working, but over the week I've been dabbling in things and it knocks code bugs out and I end up breaking things when I'm just trying to refine. I suppose if it was easy, it wouldn't be as interesting, would it, HA? Okay, nothing further to add. Good to hear a few voices now, but I suppose it was a consequence of me not actually switching that one. But yeah, back to you, Greg. G4 NRC M0 LOM.
Zero Lima Oscar Mike, G4 NRC returning. Okay, Paul. Just told you having to run because local hotspots, because you've got no RF access, compared to some areas where we've got lots of RF access, just the wrong networks. So that's why part of the reason we have to set about doing our own thing. But yeah, everything worked fine there. No obvious packet loss appearing. All looking good with the world, and good to hear you on. One of the other things I want to have a look at, and Guy's going to get pre-warning of this because I was going to send him a message, was that we did do a plot once of where all the RAYNET members were around the country, just using postcodes to put a dot on a map, and you could see where people were focused. I'm just wondering if we can run the same kind of exercise of where all our DMR registered users are, because we've got well over 230 registered users on the system now, many, many more than we envisaged, I think, when this started off. That's a good thing. Okay, I think I've raised some stuff as we've gone around. Can't think of anything extra I want to put in before the second round, so let's go around for any finals or any further comments on things people have said. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee to the top of the list, Mike, G4 NRC, over.
G4 NRC from GACY. Nothing much to add, really. Yes, there is quite a lot of activity around the country at the moment, non-RAYNET based, because it's Lighthouses on the Air weekend. And of course, in Norfolk, we have got 2 lighthouses on the air this weekend, one at Hunstanton and the other at Haysborough. Now I suppose I ought to spell those for you. Hotel, Uniform, November, Sierra, Tango, Alpha, November, Tango, Oscar, November, and Hotel, Alpha, Papa, Papa, India, Sierra, Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, Golf, Hotel. That's practiced my phonetics, and I do hope I haven't killed your fingers off. So 73s, and thanks for running the net, Craig.
For NRC. G8EEY, G4NRC. Yeah, those blips run down to my network, and I'll do some investigation on that one. Okay, you didn't phase me out with Haysborough. Known to some who have gone in and out on the net, but I did spend time in Norfolk on holiday some years ago, many decades ago, so Haysborough didn't phase me at all. So nice try. But yeah, I did hear some of the lighthouses on the air last night while I was testing the SG 2020 potential portable stroke mobile rig for HF. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to work any of them because I have lots of deep antenna issues here after roof work last weekend. Okay, thanks Mike, talk to you next week. Next, Bob, Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G, RSU.
G8SDU, Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform, G4NRC. Sorry, Bob. Once again, breaking with 35% or more packet loss as we've gone on. I'm not sure. We've wondered sometimes if things get a bit fraught during net times. I might try giving you a shout later on or after the net, or just call in at some point and we'll figure out what's going on with your station. But that was not copyable. And usually we say third time's a charm, but it hasn't been this time. One last chance, G8SDU, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC.
Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform, G4NRC. Sorry, Bob, it is breaking badly. Guy and I will have a think. Trevor's put house down in the log, so maybe he heard more than I did, but it's not working for me. Okay, down to you, Graham. G7NEH, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G7NEH. Yeah, okay, great, no problem. Right, so now we've had about 12 views on the live stream. A few comments in the chat. A comment from Colin, 2E0CMS, that the net is not going through the RAYNET-UK room or fusion. So maybe one to look into. So yeah, not a lot else from me, Greg. So back to you, G4NRC, G7NEH.
G4 and RC returning. Yeah, okay, Graham, thanks for that. Spotted that come through on the WhatsApp group as well. So this is the, well, I think Guy's cunning plan was once he'd finished playing with the dashboard and getting those issues solved and beaten into submission, the next thing was, I think, Guy, you were going to rewrite Fusion, or at least rewrite how Fusion worked. So hopefully that will come back onto the radar and we'll get the Fusion room of the hash 23531 connected as well. Thanks to his RCMS for testing and reminding us. So thanks for that. Thanks for doing the live stream again today, Graham. Next to Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar G4 and RC. G4 NRC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. No, not a great deal to add. This end, Greg. Wish everyone well, and hopefully we can get our heads together and do a bit of portable work over the bank holiday. Give us a shout in the week if we can try and arrange something. Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. 7 AVO, G4 and RC returning. Yeah, will do, Dave. I've got to find out what the plans might be made for a long weekend. We work for several masters and mistresses, as we know. Okay, 7 3s, next to George. Golf 6, November Lima X-Ray, G4 and RC, over.
G6 and Alex. Nothing really much more to add, Greg. Thanks very much for running the net. And good to hear everybody who was active this afternoon. I'll hand it straight back to you. G6 and Alex, out to you.
November Lima X-Ray, G4 and RC. Okay, thanks, George. Yeah, short finals is always appreciated. We'll move down to Trevor. 7 3s to you, and over to Trevor. G4KUJ, G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC, G4KUJ, replying, yes, okay, Greg and everybody else. Just to confirm that the dashboard is operating as it used to in real time. And I also know you've done some tweaks telling us about any peers we might have that are off line at the moment, and actually includes the name of the peer, which is useful. And also, I think you've put in a link to the profile page, which is good as well. Apart from that, nothing further, I don't think, except are you expecting to be on 40 for the back tour scared this evening, Greg? Apart from that, I'll hang around to the end of the logging and catch up with everyone and on, and should be around next week. G4 NRC, G4KUJ.
G4KUJ, G4 and RC returning. Okay, thanks, Trevor. Thanks for doing the logging. And yes, I will be on the practical sched for traffic handling. Mobile whip seems to work for that one on 40 metres, so we'll be there. The 60 metre mobile whip, not so successful on the HF this afternoon for reasons still to be determined. Quite weird in some ways. So yeah, I will be on later just to hopefully clear off the stuff that's still hanging on your station and see if there's anything new come in. Okay, thanks. Talk to you later. Next, Ian. Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC, D3ZHX. I actually meant to comment last week. I will make my comment now. I've been on this system now since January last year. It's been interesting to watch it getting more and more reliable, with the exception of 2 stations today, it seems. But the problems seem to have migrated out of the central operation to the individual stations, which is great credit to Guy's work, and I want to congratulate him on that. And I think with that, I will now shut up and go back to sleep. This is G3ZHX. I'll be back with you in a fortnight.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray G4NRC returning. Yes, the guy is too much of a professional to actually run a tag about how many nines reliability he might be getting up to by now, I'm sure. But the problem I suppose we are getting now is as we get more successful, as I say, 236 plus users registered, or peers registered, does make it bigger than we'd originally envisaged, I think. It's making it manageable across that breadth and sorting out everybody's problems individually is going to be a little bit challenging, I think, going forward. So we might have to have some kind of drop-in surgeries just to see if we can help solve common problems for everybody concerned. Okay, thanks, Ian. Enjoy your fortnight off on the net. Talk to you soon. Next, we'll try again for Chris, who is also suffering packet loss. Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC.
D3 VH Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, G4NRC. Sorry, Chris, that was again 26% packet loss, a couple of words, and then it was gone. Just give it one more go for the third time's a charm. G3 VH G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G3VH. Okay, Greg. We'll call it quits for now. Thanks for trying anyway. G3VH.
VHG 4NRC. However, we were right. That was a solid over with no loss that time. Okay, Chris. Thanks for coming on this week. For those who are still watching the YouTube video, my video has disappeared off it. Not because of anything I've done, but the server that feeds it across seems to have decided it's had enough of me. So I'll need to investigate if we've got some timeouts. It was showing just disconnected and trying to reconnect and not getting a path again. So we'll play with that one. Okay, 3 stations to go before we finish. Next is Pete. Mike 0, November Echo Delta, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from Mike 0, November Echo Delta. Yes, interesting conversations about dropouts and that kind of thing. I've been having some, looking at some network traffic, noticed quite a lot of jitter on some links. Whether that's got anything to do with it, I don't know, but we know jitter and DMR is not great. There's not a lot more I've got to add, so I'll pass it back to you, Greg. Thanks for running the net. Some of these other items are of interest. That have gone on. Interesting. I'm not keeping quite abreast of everything that's going on with work commitments and that kind of thing, but it'd be interesting if that kind of interaction is available, probably on the RAYNET site. To be frank, I haven't logged on there for a wee while. So that was me dropping out, hitting me on timeout. I haven't logged on there for a wee while.
Mike 0, November Echo Delta, G4NRC returning. Just trying to one-fingered type the most complicated password I think I've got. because of what you said about jitter, and it's just something I've been observing just generally on my network. That although I have 60 megabits per second down and 20 up and all the rest of it, there do seem to be bits where I think it's the router in the middle just thrashes around a bit and sticks some latency in where it's not really expected. I've prioritised some users to give my packets some kind of priority, but it's not always working out. In terms of interaction, well, there has been a debate, and I fear that this is turning into the alternative RAYNET news service, which Mike Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee will recall from the last committee management meeting. And it is really what's interesting to people, and then what becomes a little bit time-bound, and people think, well, it's past and doesn't need to be said anymore. So it's a difficult one, Pete, but we do need to talk to each other a little bit more, I'll certainly say that. Okay, while I try and look at what my VDSL's up to, I shall pass it over to Guy. Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, M0GUI. Yeah, thank you, Greg. Yeah, all stations have no problems except for the ones we've already talked about. Just briefly, yes, if you look at the dashboard, you will see I've combined the group and talk group into one column. This, I think, makes it look a bit nicer, but it also means that the last heard now fits nicely on an iPad screen. So I have an old iPad sitting in the corner on a little mount, and that permanently just shows me the RAYNET dashboard, so I can keep an eye on it here, and it fits quite nicely on there, and just sits there working away, showing me activity on the net, which is quite nice. Yes, Trevor, you're absolutely right that I've reinstigated the little panel just to show you that your hotspots are up, down, or sideways. So if there is an issue, it'll bring those out and hopefully help you figure out why things aren't working the way they should be. If there's anything else that anybody wants to see on the system, new features or spelling errors or things that just look a bit odd, then please let me know and we can talk about those and see if we can make any improvements. I'm always looking to make some improvements on the system, so all suggestions are warmly welcomed, and we can see if we can make any improvements to the system. And similarly, please remember to invite the other RAYNET members to join the system if they're not already on here. As Greg has said, we've got, well, what have we got now? We've got 257 registered users on the system, but obviously we'd like to get more, we'd like to get everybody, so please invite people, tell people, bully people to, if they've got a DMR ID, to come and get registered on the system and have a play, and we're more than happy to assist in getting people set up on DMR. I can get people's hotspots sorted out in a sub 30 minutes now over Zoom and things, so if people are struggling, more than happy to assist and get that sorted. And with that, because I'm dragging on, I will hand it back to Greg. Thanks for running the net, Greg, as always, and Trevor for keeping the notes, and I will speak to you all later on. 73 is from Mike 0, Golf Uniform Yankee. Back to you, G4NRC.
G4NRC, GLSDO.
Sierra Golf Uniform, 10% packet loss, Bob. Go ahead, over.
Yeah, I've moved 6 feet. That's all I've done. Same power level as last time, but I've just moved 6 feet from where I was standing, Greg. So, most peculiar. Must be just a signal path to the hotspot.
after you, G4NRC, returning. Okay, well, that's fine. 6 feet of movement works. I don't think we want to get to the point of through the keyhole, so it's not just fixing your hotspot, but let's walk around the house and look at the construction and find out where the best place to stand is. But at least you found a location that works again this time, Bob. And you continue to raise a smile and a challenge for making this work. 1 week we will get a net when you are back fully 100%, no packet loss. That will be good. Guy, thanks for everything you've done and your comments on the last over. I've just done a quick check, given what Pete said about jitter. All I can see on my system is latency, and it is just what I've been noticing, that if there's a flurry of video usually, it will kick up to about 73 milliseconds maximum latency here. But today, through the duration of the net, we've barely got above about 18 milliseconds latency, so there was nobody else in the house until about 5 minutes ago. So I don't quite know why my system decided to throw one earlier and throw some packet loss in. So might have to put some more detailed analytics on the system, and then we can find where the issues are. Okay, thanks for what you've done on the dashboard, Guy. We'll have another look later on. We finish off this week with Paul. Mike 0, Lima Oscar, Mike, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, M0, LOM, returning. Yes, good to be back, getting the radio working again. Like Guy, I'm just trying to press into service an iPad, but it's an iPad 1, and I think it's probably not happy with the internet anymore, so it's not resolving the dashboard, so I won't be able to use that for what I wanted to use it for, but not to worry. But okay, I'll leave you to it, and I'll try and get on as regularly as I can. Back to you, Greg. G4NRC M0 LOM.
Mike 0, Lima Oscar, Mike, G4NRC, returning. Yeah, look forward to hearing more of you, Paul, and certainly good signal from you today through that hotspot set up. And anything anybody wants to hear about or whatever, or thinks we should include on the net, then please do let me know. Albeit, just cautious that if it's really newsworthy and should go in the weekly news, then sending it to news at RAYNET-UK.net will probably be more appreciated by Peter, to give him some copy for that and for Checkpoint and the other things that we put out. Okay, Paul, thanks for that, and thanks everybody for coming on the net today. We will close a little bit over time based on recently, but thanks for taking time out to participate today. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, I'll close the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net and return the network to an open net rather than a directed one. 730 all, this is Golf 4, November Romeo Charlie now closing and reverting to my normal call sign of Golf 0, Delta Uniform Bravo. Bye-bye.